cast your mind back, do you remember the post I did at the start of November, introducing hashtag Enchanted Library with the fabulous Dotty Delightful and me? We have shared some wonderful books, and Ruby even made a book nook. But when the month did first begin, we promised you a chance to win. So grab a cuppa, relax for a while, and hopefully our chatter will make you smile. We discuss more books and go off on a tangent. We clearly aren't very good at time management. But at the end, we share with you the competition and what you must do. So like, subscribe, and comment below. You only can win if you have a go. Good luck. Which one are we starting with?
This is going to be tricky. Which is your favourite out of the pile?
Well, seeing as you said which, shall we start with which?
Oh, yeah, all right then.
Because I reckon anyone who's been following our little like Enchanted Library things, I reckon they will have been all expecting us to have commented on this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's sharing it.
Yeah. Because there's a few people who've been commenting saying, oh yeah, I've got this book, oh yeah, I've got that book, or I haven't got this book, oh I've not, or you've caught me out, I've not got this one. But I reckon they'd have all been expecting us to do that one.
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. And this is one I have so many pages folded down.
Yeah,
like bits in the margin.
Mine's pretty knackered. It's all, yeah, because I think I've read it and reread it over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to it. My favourite bit in it was, well, it felt, when I read it, it felt like coming home, like almost like it was a guide to go, oh, actually, you're all right. Do you know what I mean?
And in case anyone doesn't know which one we're talking about, it's Witch by Lisa Lister.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Failed at the first hurdle.
So
welcome to the world of Dotty Delightful and Glitch the Witch. We know what we're doing, honestly.
But yeah, if you're a beginner witch, or if you're an old witch, or a whatever witch, get witch. It's really good.
Yeah.
So definitely. My favourite bit in it was, you know, I don't know where it is now, but where it goes through all the different witches. Because if you me in the beginning, which witch is which, I'd have said, oh, I'm an earth witch. But actually reading through, I was like, oh, I resonate with that one. Oh, and that one and that one. And I think I've come out as a hearth witch, probably.
Well, although, having said that, I don't like being labelled. And to me, one of the things about being a witch is actually that you take a little bit of everything. And so actually, you know, I take a little bit from Buddhism. I take a little bit from, you know, all sorts of different things. And it's just that whole mix. And to me, being a witch isn't necessarily about being any particular thing. It's just being in connection with everything. It's paying attention to the fact that I want to know what herbs heal me, or what moon phase we're in, or you know, trying to keep everything as natural as possible, and helping other people. It's very much a kind of loving thing, which goes completely against what so many people have followed with the stereotypical witch that is nasty and eats children and all that sort of stuff. And it's and that was what, like when you said, when you read this book, it felt like coming home. She was the one that put it into words first for me, that actually, oh, what I feel, that is what a witch is, but it's not what we've been led to believe it is at all.
Yeah.
And so she then gave permission to use that word again and reclaim the word. Yes. And actually say, yeah, you know what, I am a witch and proud of it.
Yeah, because before I read this, I wouldn't have dared say that I was.
No.
I would have said it out loud. Definitely not.
And see, you haven't read the Pam Grossman Waking the Witch one, have you? Because that's one of my ones coming up on my my little ones. But that is another one that's very similar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So again, it's that same sort of concept of, you know what, we've been misled all these years. This isn't what a witch is. And it's time to kind of reclaim the real meaning of that word, and to sort of wake up and be allowed to be who we are.
Exactly. Yeah,
because at one point you could have even been tried for being a witch for wearing lipstick. Like, or for smiling at a guy who was married, and then he had sexual thoughts about you, and all of a sudden you're the one that's carted off because you were clearly, it was your fault, not his fault.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's crazy, isn't it? Really crazy. Yeah, I agree with that. I love taking bits of this and bits of that, but I also found comfort, especially because this was years ago that I read it, especially in going, oh, I identify with this type, and I identify with this type, and I identify with this type.
Yeah.
So it felt like that gave me a parameter or a boundary or something to fit into, because I needed to fit into that in the beginning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit of everything, but I think that it's tricky sometimes, because I think people think witches are all the same thing, and they think that pagans are all the same thing, and Wiccans are all everybody that's not in that world thinks it's all the same thing, and it isn't. It's all different. But basically, like you said, it's all about just being kind, treading lightly on the earth, and being kind to the planet and animals and each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, such a good book.
Yeah. And I would also recommend anything by Lisa Lister. I love all of her books. So I've got every single one of hers on the bookshelf, and they're all equally good.
This one, which is Love Your Lady Landscape.
Yeah.
This is
Code Red. Have you read Code Red as well?
Yeah, I liked Code. I thought Code Red was good for beginners that didn't know anything about your reproductive system and all that kind of stuff. And then Love Your Lady Landscape went a bit more into it in not as much as a biological way, more of a spiritually kind of way. That's what I thought. So I love this one more. Which
I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got like all different bits written in it. So that's a really good book, and that's another one by Lisa Lister. And I recommend that for any women as well that have got any kind of problems, womb problems, fertility problems, anything like that. So that's a really good book. Yeah. Have you got Health Sorcery as well?
Yes, and the newest one, Presence.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more about that one. Oh, the new one.
This one.
Oh, that looks really different, doesn't it, compared to her other books?
Yes. Yeah. I didn't like it as much, I must admit, but it's kind of got little bits from all of them in it. It was good. It was still really good. I would definitely recommend still buying it. But which is definitely now you put me on the spot.
Read the blurb on the back.
Read the blurb on the back. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you can respond to the world and all that is happening in it without burning out. In this book, Lisa Lister shares her own journey alongside practical tools that will help you rediscover and reconnect with your body so you can live life on your terms. Guided invitations will teach you to slow down, set boundaries, and explore your emotions so you can get to know the real you. Learn to express yourself and claim your true to you power. Be present to the power of your presence and dare to take up space in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah. But no, it's got kind of more things for you to do. So like it's like little like meditation-y things and things that you can then challenges, I suppose, or little things to have a go at.
So it's more like a practical book than just a reading it.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's definitely worth getting. Although it's hardback. I don't like hardbacks. It's probably come out in paperback now, but I got it when it first came out. It's still a really new one, so I don't know for sure that it's in paperback yet.
Right.
But I have because I like to fold things and bend things, and hardbacks don't do it for me.
I like hardbacks if they're like you know, like a factual book, or if for research, like an art book or something. But I like paperback if it's something where you're gonna read it and read it and read it, or
yeah, because hardbacks just aren't as comfortable to hold. I like it to kind of like shape into my hands and move about and things.
Yeah, and bend and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And I do break the spine.
I've got yes, me too. And I've got brings me to I'm not gonna tell you her name, but if she's watching this, she'll know exactly who she is. There's a lady I know, and she does not break the spine. All her books that she's read are pristine. You wouldn't even think.
Is it someone who recently called us a monster for folding down the corner of the pages?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because she has these weird little tabs sticking out that are like you can pull off and stick back on again.
Oh.
Loads of them. But that makes my brain boggle because there's all these tabs sticking out. They're colour coordinated as well.
No. Oh, no. No, I like it as messy as possible.
Now, I think this would be a perfect time to share your Creatrix book.
Oh, yes. What a perfect segue. So, again, if you've been following our everyday ones, you probably have been waiting for us to do something by Lucy, because she's got so many books and we've read them all and we love them all and we love Lucy. So shout out to Lucy if she is watching.
Lucy H. Pierce, that is.
Oh, yes, Lucy H. Pierce. So yes, the reason I'm going to talk about this one is because it's the first time I have ever started reading a book and it wasn't even an urge or a desire, it was a compulsion. I had to draw in it, and it's the most bizarre thing. So, and in fact, there is a point where she does give you permission to do that. She does kind of say that she hopes to inspire you. And what I ended up doing on each page, I would kind of take my favorite bit and highlight it or write it out bigger, or I would draw things, or I would write bits out, and I just couldn't stop. It was just the most bizarre thing how it had this effect on me, that I just wanted to be like creative. I mean, and that's what it's about. That, like, it's giving you permission to be creative. And so I ended up turning the book into like an art journal, really, but pulling out all of the bits in it that resonated the most for me. I absolutely love it. It was just so magical. It really was, and so unexpected. I didn't think I would have, and then I felt, at times I felt guilty because I was like, oh, I shouldn't be like scribbling all over it. And then other times I'll be like, yes, that's the whole point. That is what she's wanting to kind of, I don't know, inspire you. And you can still read everything. So I've not done any, so, you know, you can still read the actual book behind it and stuff. But I was just completely obsessed with colouring it all in and stuff. So yes. Yeah.
Compared to mine, which is pristine. I had a sketchbook with me at all times when I was reading. I drew in the sketchbook. But I love your one. It's amazing.
And I don't know whether it was to do with the size as well, and the paper.
Yes.
Because like it just felt, I don't know. It was not a voluntary thing. I just had to do that. That like I was compelled to just draw in it and paint in it and like pull out all my favorite bits and stuff. It was magical, really magical.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's really nice paper, isn't it?
Yes.
And I love the size of it. It is a really good book. And I felt like this was another coming home, actually, a creative coming home. And the permission giving and stuff like that. And Lucy H. Pierce. I'm giggling because I met Lucy back in when did we have the fair? We had a witch event in Lancaster.
September, October?
Yeah, I think
August, because it was for the anniversary, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it was. and I met Lucy in real life, and she's so lovely. And I kept calling her Lucy H. Pierce, and she was like, "No, it's just Lucy." But all her books have been fantastic, like absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And that leads us nicely into She of the Sea.
She of the Sea.
Now, She of the Sea, I've read most of her books. I think there's 2 that I've not read so far. Like the really early ones, I can't even remember what they're called. The ones about when you like a motherhood one. There was a motherhood one right in the beginning. I didn't read that because my lads are grown up. But out of all the books that I've read by Lucy, She of the Sea is my favourite because I grew up in Blackpool by the sea, which is a seaside town in the northwest of England. And when I was a kid, we was poor, so my mum took me to the beach all the time. Like if there was, it's summer holidays, we were at the beach every day. So it proper resonated because wherever I've been, I'm always drawn to water, always. And when we moved to Lancaster, the sea's about 20 minutes drive away from here. But in the house we lived in before, when you looked out the skylight, I could still see the sea. And that was one of my things. Moving into a city, I was like, oh, but I'm not near the sea. And this book was beautiful because if you've not grown up near the sea and you've not had that connection, I think it's a very different thing. And I'm interested, did you grow up near the sea, Chris? You did?
We're about 20 minutes drive from Burnham-on-Sea and Weston-super-Mare. Although you say the sea, it's a little bit more like a mud flat. It's not great because we're on the Bristol Channel on the estuary, so we've got the biggest tide, and so it when it goes out, it goes right out, and it does descend. And because it comes in and out so far, it deposits so much rubbish and mud and stuff, and so it's quite dangerous in a lot of places. Like people sink in it and they drive their cars on it and the cars sink and all sorts of things. So we didn't really go there that much because they're not the greatest beaches. But having said that, I am still really drawn to water. My thing more is streams and a babbling brook. Give me a woodland with a babbling brook going through it, or rivers, lakes, I'm still drawn to water and the sound of water. So quite often if I can't sleep, I will find some kind of thing on YouTube that's got water, whether it is the waves going in and out or whether it is a stream and the sound of it going over pebbles and things like that. So I still am very much, and whether it's again because I'm Aquarius, which is the water carrier, even though Aquarius is an air sign, I've still got such a connection to water. And I'm a water baby. I mean, I would go on holiday and just spend the entire week in the swimming pool with a book, but in the swimming pool. Like I love, and if I feel ill, a bath is my go-to. I have to and I will top up the water when it gets cold, and I'll be in there for hours, like literally hours. Even if I wake up in the night and I feel ill, I will go and run myself a bath and like lie in the bath for an hour in the middle of the night, sort of thing. So yes, I had that very much that same kind of, when reading this, it was the understanding more of why we're drawn to water and that attraction that sort of calls us and stuff. So yes, I would agree with you on this one, definitely.
It deeply resonates with that feeling. So interestingly, I'm drawn to water, but I can't swim, so that's really interesting. But I do love a bath. I wouldn't move to a house that didn't have a bath. I just couldn't do it. It just feels like being in a womb or something, like in warm water. There's something lovely about it. And it was the way in this she evoked all those feelings of when you sit on the beach and you watch the sea coming in and out, or you sit by a river and you watch the water, and the calming and the just everything about it. It's really lovely.
And yet it's also that knowledge of how powerful it is.
Yes.
That water has this, it's because we need to drink so much water, it's life-giving, we need it. and yet it's also on the flip side, it's got, you know, I've had a flood outside our house for the last few weeks that you can't actually leave our house without wearing wellies. And so, you know, it reminds you of that destruction that can also come with the water, and yet we also need it as well. So it's that kind of almost love, hate, pull, push, again, you know, in, out. It's all of it.
It definitely is. And being like loads of people, this is quite macabre, but loads of people at Blackpool kill themselves in the sea. They just go.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they do. And I've always been really not afraid of the water, but it was drilled into me from a young age. You have to be careful because the sea comes in like this. It's the Irish Sea, and it is really rough, and it comes in around. So if you're in the middle, you're stuck. And I remember being probably about 7, and a dog had gone into the sea, and the owner had gone in after the dog, and the owner drowned. So a police lady went in after the owner, and she drowned, and then a policeman, and he drowned. There was quite a few of them, and so I was always really aware of how powerful it is, that it can easily take you and you're gone, you know. And that feeling of when you have got when you're going through a deep depression and you sit and you can hear the sea calling to you, and it's almost like it does pull you in and say, come and get in me, everything, you know, I can wash you, kind of, I can do and stuff. But then if you was not aware of how dangerous it is, I think this is why a lot of people end up dying in the water. Because it does call to you. So reading this, I was like, oh my gosh, she fully gets it. Like she fully gets the power of the water. Just amazing. Yeah, really good. So highly recommend that one.
Right, what are we going next?
Oh, you choose, Chris.
Okay, well, things we've just been talking about the sea, and that's affected by the moon. Shall we go to moonology?
Oh yes, good. I think I've mine downstairs.
Yeah.
But I don't have it.
Oh look, I've got tags. Is that gonna like freak you out?
No.
They're not like they're not in any particular color coordination type thing though. They're just whichever ones I obviously happened to grab at the time. So yes, and I also use her diary.
That's interesting.
I really like. So we've got a full moon is the next thing we'll have coming up. So it'll say about that. So it says full moon in Gemini. And then it'll tell you about that moon, when it is, what time it is in different places in the world. Oh, and there's a QR code on this one to access a meditation.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. And then it also, you look at where the moon is in which house the moon is in for you in particular and stuff. So it says different things, and then it has things in it for you to write down how to work with that particular moon and stuff. And then yes, it's a normal diary as well. But so I really like that. And then really like the book. I there's a few moon books that I have. And they're all slightly different, and I like how, you know, knowing how to work with the moon. For me, I have a Leo moon. Where's your moon?
Don't have a bloody clue. In the sky.
On your chart, what are you? What are your big 3? So you're Taurus.
Taurus. And then oh, Chris, you've put me right on the spot.
Because I'm Aquarius sun and Aquarius rising with Leo moon.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Oh, I don't know. I'd just be lying. I'd just make it up. I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Have you had your chart done?
Yeah, I did it myself. I can't know what it is. I've got, you know what my memory's like. At the minute, I'm in bookland, so going my brain into that land. I'm not in. Yeah, I don't know. I know Venus rates highly in it. I know that.
Well, Venus rules Taurus as well, though, doesn't it? Yeah. So that'll be the Taurus bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got more Taurus then somewhere.
I haven't got a clue. But I do love the Moonology, the book, and that's the book that we use for our Wild Creative Woman.
Yes, on our Zoom calls.
Circles.
Yeah.
It is a really good book because it's quite in depth, isn't it? What it goes into about the new moon and the full moon, and how they affect us and things like that. Now, this is interesting. This is controversial and not to do with books, but it is to do with the moon. Some people say the moon isn't real and that it's like a weird NASA base.
Space station, isn't it? That's like a Yes, I heard that recently as well.
Yeah. So, but when I look at the moon, I've had such emotion sometimes with the moon, especially when it's full.
Yeah.
Things I get, do you know what
I mean? And I'm obsessed with it every flipping month. I guarantee you, every single month I will try and take photos of the full moon on my phone, which is rubbish for taking photos. And so all you just get is a big blob of light. But try it every month. I don't know why I think like this month is going to be different. This month is going to actually come up. You're going to be able to see the craters. No. It's just ridiculous. And I even got for my camera, I've got like a big long telescopal tele thingy lens. What are they called? No, but it's telephoto lens. No, okay. Is that what it's called? Big, anyway, one of those big ones, and it's got like a special moon filter. And I can't work out how to put it all together. The moon filter bit's really small. But when I ordered it, I ordered the right one for the right camera, and I don't know how to do it. And even with the big lens on, I can look through it and I can get things really far away in focus. And then when I try and take a picture of it, it doesn't work. But I'm useless. I don't understand all. When I it was when I was 21. For my 21st birthday, all I wanted was a proper camera, like a camera with all the lenses, all that sort of, because I loved taking pictures and I really fancied like doing some proper photography. And my uncle, I don't think he'll watch this, so I don't think he'll find out. My uncle said that he would get me a proper camera. So I was so excited because I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a proper camera. And anyway, when I opened it, it was just like a little instant camera. But because he'd told me ahead of my birthday that he was going to get me a camera, I had signed up to do this photography course in Cheddar. And so I turned up with my little instant camera and they were all laughing at me. They're going, you're not going to be able to do it. You have to like have a proper camera. And I said, well, can't I still do the course and learn like what everything means and stuff? And they were like, no. So they kicked me out of the course. So I wasn't allowed to do it. And I was so upset. And then I didn't have a camera until not last Christmas, the Christmas before. And I was retelling this story to my mum and she goes, I'll get you a proper camera for Christmas. So she got me a proper camera and I've got the lens and I have no idea how to use it properly because I don't get what everything. I'll have to ask your Tom, get him to tell me how to do bits.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube called Thomas Heaton that Tom watches a lot. He's really good.
Does it go right proper idiot's guide to like how to?
No, I don't think so. But there is a guy who does an idiot's guide. What is he called? I can't remember.
Because I know to get pictures of the moon, you're better not holding it, are you? Because you have to be really still. So it's better to have it on a tripod. Yeah, so that you're not like moving at all, and then do a slow exposure or something, isn't it?
Yeah, you do a clicker thing, so you don't touch the camera. You like it's like a remote clicker.
I don't have one of those.
And you take a few pictures, and I can't remember what it's called, but you don't just take one picture. You take loads in a space of like over time.
Yeah.
Some exposure, I can't remember, and then somehow on Photoshop you put them all together, and then that makes
yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So if anyone watching knows how to get good pictures of the moon and can explain to me how to attach this little tiny moon filter, and please comment below.
we went right off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I used my binoculars to look at the moon, and I held my phone up to the binocular, and I was really trying to get a picture. I thought this is going to work, but it just come out with a big white like light thing on it, and I was like, oh, it didn't work. But yeah.
And my old house, it was amazing because you could sit in the lounge, and we had big patio doors that went out into the garden, and you could see when it was full moon, it always went across, and I'd just sit there all evening and just watch it go across. Here I can't see the moon from any of our windows, so I have to actually kind of go out, which I do go out, but yeah, it's not so good. So that's on my wish list of my next house. It would have to have, you'd have to be able to see the moon from a window somewhere that I can just sit and watch it. That's how much I love the moon.
Yeah.
So I'd be really disappointed if there's just men living in it.
I don't think so, because there's all that thing around the full moon that people go a bit nuts, don't they? Like in
police. Which is why it's called lunatic from Luna. Yeah.
Yeah. And the police always say that it's a worse time around the full moon and stuff like that. So how, I think it is a thing. I don't know. It's weird, but I like the moon. But I don't know what moon I am.
We'll find out later. Okay, moving swiftly on then. Shall we go to...
Oh, yes.
And again, you met them, didn't you, at that...
yeah.
At the Pendle, yeah.
Oh my God, they are flipping bonkers. The sisters are bonkers in the best way possible. The crackers. And I went to see one of their workshops. Oh, it was just brilliant. If you ever get the chance to go to one of their workshops, go, because it's like you've took loads of pills, but you haven't. It's mad. Absolutely mad. But really interesting, and they're so knowledgeable, like, and they're so in tune with everything that they're doing. So yeah, the crackers, but I really like
Where
it.
Are they from?
They're down south. I'm not sure where.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was a real blessing that they came, because all of their workshops and stuff are down south, and I'm up in the north.
So I'm more likely then to be able to go and see them. Okay,
yeah.
I'll have to have a look.
They've got a few retreats coming up as well. They've got like a Deadly Nightshades retreat, one about mushrooms, hallucinogenics. Yeah, they've got quite a few things coming up, which sound really good. But this book's amazing, really amazing, because it doesn't just tell you about herbs like a lot of books do. It tells you how to actually connect with them, and it works through the seasons with each plant. There's different plants for different seasons, and it goes into all the medicinal power of them and how you can connect on different levels. So not just by using herbs in your cooking and to make you better if you're poorly and stuff, but also the spiritual and energetic connections with each one. And I really love the illustrations in these books.
I was just about to say, it's also really nice to look through.
Like it's a really beautiful book. They've got a new book as well called, I think it's called The Poison Garden.
Right.
Yeah, which is another really beautiful book.
Have you cooked any of the recipes in here?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, a few of them. And I like going through, when it's a new season, I like going into, I've got a few books. This one, there's The Wild Remedy, which we'll talk about. And then there's another one called, it was by Alice Tarbuck. What was that called? It'll come back to me. But each season, I like to go to these books and just sit and read about the season. So I feel like I've grounded in it.
Yeah.
So each season's got its own section in it. Have you cooked anything out of it?
No.
Yeah, I just love it. And like going to the park or the woods or whatever, and then seeing one of these plants when you've read about the essence of it and everything, it just you've got a new appreciation and understanding of what they are.
Yeah, my one that I this year, that from reading this, that I connected with was yarrow. So I've been growing some yarrow in the garden. And that was the one that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I should make some because they have the sourdough. I drank quite a lot of yarrow tea. I did make some yarrow tea. And I think it was more from they were commenting on it on their Instagram page. They'd done some post about yarrow, and I was like, "Ooh, I have that growing in the garden." So went and had some tea and stuff, and I actually quite liked it. It tasted quite nice.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I really, because we're in autumn. Obviously, I really love. Well, we both really love autumn, don't we?
We do.
I love there's like poetry in it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
About the different plants. So that's all about the seeds and the berries. And it's just the connection to nature, which I think is just really important. So fennel for autumn, in this one it's fennel. And I went out for dinner the other week and I had this wrap, and it was all sweet potato and peppers and stuff, and it was all done in fennel. Now I'd tasted fennel because I use fennel seeds in cooking, but I'd never think to buy fennel to cook with, you know, like
yeah.
But having that, oh my God, it was delicious. And that's
We've got a huge fennel plant in the garden as well. Yeah. So it's a funny flavour though, isn't it? Because it's quite strong when you like pick it and you think, oh, that's going to be really aniseedy, but actually it's quite subtle sometimes when you then cook it in things. I quite like it.
Yeah, it's lovely. So that's one of the herbs for autumn to get into. But yeah, it's a really, and do you know what I really love about this book? The feel of the pages. Feel really earthy, and it's got really nice pages. And again, it's that size, that good size.
Yeah,
it's I like the size of book. So it's really lovely. But yeah, if you can go and see them anywhere, go and see the Seed Sisters, because they are crackers in the best way.
That's what we like.
Yeah, we
do. What's next? You pick this time.
How about we talk about magic, because we've got a few magical things to talk about, haven't we? So we've got the magic. Yeah. Which is, what do you want to say? Yeah, that one. Mine's up there, I think, on the shelf.
The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, who also did The Secret,
The Power,
Hero. Yeah.
Got a new one coming out as well, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all about law of attraction, isn't it? How whatever you put out there, you can get back to you with the work. Let's just add that clarification.
Yeah. And I like this one because actually, this one you've got something to do every day. So you go through and you've got like day one, you've got to do such and such, day two, and it actually takes you through different things. And I still have in my purse, I have a pound note. Do you remember before pound coins, we had a pound note? And I have a pound note in it, and I've got a post-it note stuck to it, sort of saying I am grateful for all the money that comes to me, or whatever it was that you had to say from this one. And that was from in here. And I also have a little pebble by the side of the bed that every night I'll hold on to the pebble and I'll say 3 things that I'm grateful for from that day. And that was all from her as well.
Yeah, so it's 28 pages, I think. 28 challenges, isn't it? Or 28 things to do. So it's for the whole month. Yeah. And each day is a different thing, and you add to the days as well. Yeah. It's a real good practical way of getting into the law of attraction and gratitude.
Yeah. And I think it's more user-friendly than The Secret.
Yes.
Because of the practicality of it, because it's actually giving you things to do. I think it makes you understand it a little bit more, whereas The Secret was a bit too much, so-and-so says this, and so it was like too many kind of case studies, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
And like the documentary, it was just like lots of different interviews with lots of different people and things, wasn't it? So it was all kind of putting that together. Whereas this one, for me, made more sense. I preferred this one. I liked The Secret, but I found this one was more, it helped me actually put it into practice instead of just watching a whole load of people telling how they'd put it into practice. Does that make sense?
Definitely, yeah, it definitely does. And I feel like, I mean, I'm one obviously for buying books. I love buying books. But if you're thinking about The Secret, I would suggest to watch the documentary on YouTube first, because reading the book, if you're new to it, it's very in depth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watching it makes more sense because it's almost like a storytelling. But then
have you watched the film Dare to Dream?
Yeah,
that's really good as well, because then it's in a film, so it's really easy to watch. It's not a documentary form, but it's giving you the idea of actually this is what the law of attraction is, and this is how you can use it, and what happens if you don't use it, or what happens, like how you can use it for good or bad, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a good film.
It's quite cheesy, but I'm all over the cheesy movies. I like a good cheesy movie. I'm a Hallmark cliche, basically. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, the magic book is great, isn't it, for a practical sense. And I've been reading this one called Create Magic by Jason Vale, and he's the juice guy, if anybody was really into juicing. And this is really interesting because it's what I like about it is it's got big words for a start. So it feels like you can read it fast. I'm a fast reader anyway, but it feels like you can read it fast. And it's lots of little stories that then give you something practical to think about or to do. So you can either read it all the way through, or you can just pick a random page and start reading, you know. And that's a nice little book. I found it in a charity shop, actually. So I love
those charity shop finds.
Some
of the best ones,
yeah. I was like, Create Magic, what's this? And so that's a really nice little sprinkle of inspiration, it says. So that's really good. And then the other magic book is Big Magic.
Yes.
By Elizabeth Gilbert. That's a really good book. And Elizabeth Gilbert's coming to Manchester to do a talk.
Oh, yes, you said. Yeah.
So that'd be quite interesting, I think. I've not read this for a while, but it was a good, when you've got a creative block, I think it's a good book to read, because it gives you that spark again. And the thing that I liked in it was when it said about there's all these ideas that float around the air, and basically you pick an idea out, and if you don't act on it, somebody else acts on that idea.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you think, that person's copied me, but they haven't. It's just this idea that's floating around.
Yeah, I've just started, when we said we were going to put this on our list, I was like, I haven't read that for ages. I'll have a quick reread, and that's the bit I've just been reading.
Is
about how all the different ideas, and if you don't act on that idea, someone else will, so that story or that piece of art or whatever it is will come to existence through someone else.
And
amazing. I think it's also that like she's talking about the fear that so many people have to be creative, that you think that there's someone better than you, or you won't be good enough, and you don't actually have to do something creative to make that your main job if you don't want to. It's the fact that actually all of us can be more creative, even if that's not your normal 9 to 5. It's just allowing yourself that if you want to paint a picture just for you don't have to show it to anyone. It doesn't have to become like your career or anything. Just paint, and that's the joy of it, is the actual act of putting the paint on the paper, or writing a poem or a song or whatever it is. It's doing it just for yourself, and then if you want to take it further you can do. But it's that fear that so many of us have, because we were told as a kid we were no good at something, or someone laughed at us, or you look at someone else, like especially now with social media, I mean, there are so many incredibly talented artists and things. Like we were doing Folktale Week this week, and I was looking at some of the others and going, oh my God, they're so good. And like mine are nothing like that. Yeah. But actually, it wasn't about me suddenly getting spotted and someone going, oh, you're an excellent artist. It was the fact that I was just joining in, and it was like my interpretation of the words and things, and that was what the fun was. And so it's actually the taking part of it. And so that was a big thing for this one, that for me it was that fear of, and giving yourself permission to just have a go. And it doesn't matter if it what it's like, it's the doing of it that's the important bit.
Definitely. And I think a lot of people say, oh, I'm not creative, but then they can cook a really beautiful dinner.
Yeah, or decorate their room really nicely.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and that is creative. Or get dressed in a certain way, you know, be able to, or do really fantastic makeup, you know, like everything in that. So I always like to say, like, look around now, your room, everything in here has been imagined by somebody at some point, and it's creative, whether it's your decoration or your clothes or your book covers or whatever it is, somebody's done that. And I think that's a lovely thing to remember. So that's a really good book, isn't it? That.
And again, just as a general author, I like other stuff of hers as well. Eat, Pray, Love was a huge kind of factor in me getting pregnant. I know that's a really weird thing, but we were on holiday when I was reading it, and something in it made me kind of click and sort of be like, yeah, no, I'm ready for that. And I actually ended up getting pregnant on that holiday. So so it's all Liz Gilbert's fault.
I really love her books. She's a really good author, isn't she? And she's got some really lovely interviews with Oprah Winfrey that you can see on YouTube as well. The way that she talks about her life and everything, and that's what the books are. So I like her, and I think it'd be interesting to go and see her if that was possible.
Yeah.
What's next?
What have we got next? Oh, a beautiful book. You introduced me to this one.
Oh, glorious.
I love this book. This book needs to be kind of like, you need to see through this one.
Yeah.
Because every page is just a delight to look at. It's a feast for the eyes. It really is. I love it. It's like a scrapbook, but then useful information as well.
Yeah,
I love it.
Beautiful. And the lady that wrote it, her Instagram's like that as well. So if you look at the Magpie in the Wardrobe on Instagram, like that. But it's a gorgeous book. I often just sit and just look through it.
Yeah.
Just think it's so lovely. It inspires me a lot for my zines as well.
Yeah,
because I love things like scrapbooks and stuff. But it's a gorgeous. It's like a coffee table book, isn't it? That you just look
at. But there's just so much in there.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get that, that is The Magpie and the Wardrobe by Sam McKechnie. Is that how you say it?
Not sure.
And Alexandra Portelli. Yes, that's beautiful, that one.
That's a hardback, isn't it? But that deserves to be a hardback. It's like,
I'm okay with that one. But it's like things like this with the palm, and then that's like, it's just there's just so much in there. I love it. And again, it's another one of those that goes through the seasons, because it goes month by month. So you can then go, so now we're in November, so you can look at, what's she got going on in November and stuff. And I love that when it's any of the books that we've got that follow the seasons and follow the months, just helps you, like you said earlier, just helps you connect and ground into where we are now. So I really like that. So it's all about chimney sweeps at this point.
It's really lovely. So there's lots of stories.
Silhouettes. I'll have to try and dig it out. A few years ago, I was playing in a wedding, and we were on the SS Great Britain, and there was a guy who was there going around and cutting out silhouettes of like guests and things while the wedding was going on. And he did one of me. And it's like, you can tell it's me. It was incredible. And he was just walking around going, like cutting out on this paper. And then it's like, oh, looks like me. That is my silhouette. So I'll have to dig that out for you and add that in somehow. How do you do those things where it goes, bing? Oh no, it'll be that way, bing, and then it'll come up here and stuff. I'll have to work out how to do that. So here is my silhouette.
But maybe if it's not there, not
we'll edit that bit out. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, talent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, going back. Sorry, I want to go back to Elizabeth Gilbert because you gifted me the best book of my whole life. The signature of all things. This book is me in a book.
It totally was. When I was reading it, I was like, you know what? I know who has to have this.
Oh my God. There's moss in it. There's orgasms in it. There's like adventure in it. Oh, there's botanicals in it. It's just everything. It's just my world. It's fantastic. It tells the story of the daughter of a guy, and what I really loved about it is after I read it, I made a Pinterest board, of course, but then I was looking at the places in the book. So the place in Philadelphia, the Botanical Garden in Philadelphia, that's actually a real place, and that was actually the birthplace of the botany over there and stuff. So you can actually go and visit these places, even though they're called different things in the book. And it's lovely. It's just brilliant, and it's massive, and I just love it. And I really want a movie of it, but also I don't, because my mind movie of the book is a certain way, and if they actually did a movie, I'd be like, that doesn't look right.
The movie's never ever as good. I can't think of any book that I've read that I've also seen the movie where the movie is better than the book.
No.
And see, Eat, Pray, Love, I love Julia Roberts. I thought she was really good. But Felipe at the end, it's like, no, he's not the right guy. He can't be the one she falls in love with. So the film is not as good.
That was the same with the Lost Flowers, the Alice Hart book.
Yeah.
That you sent me. Oh my God, I loved that book. I thought it was brilliant. But I finished it the week when the show came out on Amazon, and I watched the show and I was like, they've missed loads of stuff out.
Yeah, it started really strong because I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, this is going to be good. This will be good. And then it kind of fizzled. And they did lots of bits different, and like with her dying of, oh, I shouldn't know, that's a rude, I won't spoil it for anyone watching it. But read The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart.
Read it.
Definitely better than the TV program. Although the TV program was good on its own, but
it was good. And if you'd not read the book, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
But when you've read the book is better.
Yeah.
But this is my favourite ever book. If I had ever had to rescue something like
from a fire,
it'd be this book.
And what I like about Liz Gilbert is how she's managed to do. Sometimes she'll do a fictional novel, and then other times she'll do, like Big Magic is like actually more of a kind of information kind of book type thing. It's more her talking to you, and yet she does both of them equally well.
Really well.
Really
well. And just fantastic. So and I learned about goblin gold moss, and I was like, is this a real thing? And it is. And I put that on my interest as well. And then I was trying to find where it was in the world so I could go and visit it. Anyway, don't get me onto that. What was we doing before that? I forgot.
We haven't picked another one. I think we're nearly getting to the end, aren't we?
We are.
So we've got the Wild Remedy.
Oh yeah, Wild Remedy.
That's the next one. I can't get the hang of the fact of which side I have to put it. La la la. Da, da, da. Actually, yours is quite pristine as well. we obviously haven't looked enough through these yet.
Well, I think this is one again that I just read the month, whatever the month.
Yeah.
Just read it, and it's her diary, isn't it? Basically, of her walking in nature for mental health, and how nature heals us, basically. So and that Alice Tarbuck one I was on about before is very similar. I can see the cover and I can't remember what it's called. It's pink. I don't know. And I've lent it to my friend, otherwise I'd have had it with me. But it's the same. So basically, you're just going on a journey with her through the month. What she sees. And it has got cute illustrations in, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you got a little owl there. She mentions owls a few times, doesn't she, actually?
Yeah. And there's photography in it as well. And, and things. But it is, and I do like the feeling of the cover. And I do like a gold font on a book.
Yeah.
I have to say, I am attracted to gold.
So we'll have to make a note of this. When we make our book, we're going to have to put gold font on the front, and the pages have to be, because this is another one, they feel nice.
Yeah, they do.
So we have to work out what paper quality that is.
Yeah, nice paper.
And it needs to be a big size.
Yeah,
we like it big.
But not hardback.
No. And we should pre-bend the spines.
Yes.
Everyone that gets one of our books has already got the spine brick and corners folded down.
Yes, definitely. I think that's what we're up to, isn't it? Now, I think that's it.
I think so.
I think so. So now let's talk about the competition.
Yes.
So this is the last book that we're talking about on this long video. It's a really lovely book, and it's got all different recipes in, and herbal remedies, and spells, and all sorts of good stuff in it. And it's one that I go back to quite a lot if I'm looking for something. So say like, I don't know, you needed to, I don't know, find a house or something, and you could look and you could find which spell would be right for that. So there's some that are like tea recipes, some that are candles, some things for the bath, all sorts of stuff. And I really like, again, I really like the pages in it. But I like the way it's laid out as well. So that's a really nice book.
Only thing I think is missing are some pictures.
Yes.
I do like pictures to look at in a book.
Because the cover is beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
Really beautiful. But yes, it would be nice if there was pictures inside to go with the cover.
Yeah.
But there isn't. So.
But everything in it is really good and useful.
It is really good.
Yeah. And I've done quite a few of these spells from in here, actually.
Yes. They're good, aren't they?
There are ones that are doable. Like sometimes you'll get some spell books and they just ask for so many random things, or you have to do certain, it's just like, and you never do it. Whereas these ones are actually like, there's not any weird ingredients that you just have no idea what it is.
They're practical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Practical things.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so you can win. You can win one of these.
Yes, not our copies.
Not our copies, no.
Not our copies. We're keeping our copies, but you can win a new copy for yourself. So to do that, what you need to do is you need to comment on this video below and tell us which is your favourite book, and maybe ones that we've mentioned, or maybe a different one. Which is your favourite book and why? That's important.
And make sure you follow both of us, so Dotty Delightful and Twitch and the Witch. And we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Threads, the whole shebang.
Run it all.
Commenting on the YouTube video that is going to get you the entry into the competition. So even if you see that we have posted, like, because we will do a little mini one to post onto Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So if you've watched that, you still need to come onto YouTube to watch this big long one, to then comment below on the big long one, whether it's the one that I've posted or Dotty has posted, because we're both going to post it. So it doesn't matter which one of them you comment on, we will be putting all of the names together into Ruby's cauldron. And then we'll pick one out. And when are we going to pick it out? 1st of December?
December. We're going to pick a name. So we'll put all your names from commenting and following, don't forget to follow us, into the cauldron, and then we'll pick a name out on the 1st of December and we will share it everywhere.
Oh, so and you'll also get, you do gorgeous bookmarks. Yes.
Well, it won't just be a book, will it? It'll be a book package, a present.
Yes. So yes, it's not just the one book.
You'll get the book, you get bookmarks, you might get a sneaky zine in there. We'll see. Maybe some stickers. Who knows? Who knows? But it'll be a lovely magical present for Christmas.
Yeah.
It'll be really nice. So yes, comment below and you might be a winner. Woo! Exciting.
And I've really enjoyed sharing all of our favourite books and things. So yeah, and there's still so much more. There's still so many. I'm like looking around my room now, going, oh, we didn't mention that one. Oh, I didn't mention that one. So apologies to any of the authors that we follow and that follow us, that if we haven't mentioned your books. But I think maybe, because November we were doing one every day, I think I might still do one a week. Yeah, maybe, and or do something, because there are still so many that I want to still share.
Yeah, there are loads. Absolutely loads. Can I just do one last shout out?
Yeah.
So it's a new book. It's called Reclaiming the Sacred, and it's by this guy called Jeff Golden. And I've just started reading it, so you can see I'm not very far in, but oh my goodness, it just warms my heart. So it's all about healing our relationship with the natural world. What I love about it is there's like thousands, I don't know if that's an exaggeration, but it feels like thousands of studies that he references when he talks about how our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our everything, and interacts with nature, and how nature interacts with us, and basically how is talking about America a lot, because I think they're the biggest country in the world that are doing so much harm to the earth. But it's got loads of statistics and facts of, because you do this is what this happens, but not in a pointy, judgy way, just in a generalized way. And it makes you go, oh my gosh, really, things need to change. And it's fantastic. So it's a really, really good book, and I highly recommend this. And when I've read it, I'm going to do an interview with Jeff all about it. So yeah, I've been in touch with him, and I emailed him last week, and I just said, oh my gosh, out of all the books I've ever read, this one is becoming my firm favourite, because it's so I highly recommend that. If you love nature, or even if you don't, if you're just interested in learning, that is a really good book. I think you'd love that, Chris.
Oh yeah, I will get on and order that straight away.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so many books, isn't there, that we could have talked about?
Yeah.
Loads and loads of books. So I'm really excited to hear other people's recommendations as well.
And what is Felicity doing next year? She's been naughty next to you there, look.
She's always tired. She's always very tired, Felicity. She's actually a ballet swan, look. She's got a tutu on, ballet shoes. And the dog doesn't like her because sometimes she pecks him.
Oh.
But she's very cozy. when I got her a couple of years ago, it was at Christmas time. It was in a supermarket, which I shall not name because I don't want to give them any kind of recognition. But the man on the telly went, "Oh, are you buying that for a child?" And I went, "No, it's for me." And he went, "Why do you want it?" I said, "So I can cuddle up to her and read bedtime stories." And he went, "Enough of that. Just pay." He didn't like it. So funny. But yeah, she's really cozy. She's a really nice shape as well, so you can like proper cuddle into her. But yeah, she lives in the book nook now.
I love that you've got a book nook. I
Yeah,
want a book nook. I'm gonna have to turn my wardrobe is gonna have to become a book nook.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be fun. Yeah, so definitely like and comment and follow us, and yeah, I think that'd be really nice, wouldn't it, to carry it on doing one a week.
Yeah,
like that, because there are so many good books, so many.
And remember, it's all hashtag enchanted library.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Hashtag enchanted library. Did you see the post that I shared about libraries around the world? There was something like
yes.
I can't remember how many. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if we went on a trip and we went to visit some of the libraries? That'd be so cool.
Yeah. And I really would like a library in my house that has one of those ladders on the wheels that you like, so I could be Belle and just go and like swing up. That would be so cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen Alanis Morissette's library in her house?
No.
She's got one of the and her book, she's got so many books. And sometimes you can like zoom in, and see what the books are and stuff. But if that was me, they'd all have to be colour coordinated because I
do them more in topics.
Right, okay.
So that's something else you can comment below. How do you organise your books? Are they colour coordinated or are they in topics or by author? Alphabetical.
That'd take
See, the problem with things like that is when you then get a new book, you have to like shuffle everything along.
Yeah. Right. Mine used to be in height.
Oh.
So they go big to small. If they're all random height, that's very annoying. But now they're colour coordinated. And weirdly, I remember, if I'm looking for a book, I remember the colour of the book, so I know which section. Okay. Yeah. So, and yours are all in topic, are they?
Yes. So I have this row behind me. There behind me is all kind of witchy ones. So yeah, they're all different sections around the room because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookcases. So they've got different sections. I do need to have a bit of a sort out of them actually. And then a huge pile by the side of my bed that is the to be read pile.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What are you reading at the moment, Chris?
Well, I had started Big Magic again. So I'm doing that one, and also the Blackberry and the Wild Rose. I'm enjoying that one. And then I also, the very first one that I did back at the beginning of November was the Stepping into the Magic by Jill Edwards. So I've started rereading that one again. So I've got 3 on the go at the moment. What are you read? Oh, you're reading the Reclaiming the Sacred.
Reclaiming the Sacred. That's that one. I'm also, hang on, everything's fallen down. I'm also reading that Create Magic in the morning. And I have just started this one, The Rose Garden, which is a novel. So yeah, I'm on that one as well. So that's what I'm on. How many books can you have on the go?
Well, see, someone once I had this like discussion with someone, and they were going, "How can you be reading more than one book at the same time?" But I was like, "Well, how many TV shows do you watch, like that come back each week or the following day? It's the same sort of thing. So, like, it's just it's like watching a different TV show.
Yeah, that's
true.
And they're all different genre type things as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and sometimes you'll be in the mood for something factual, and other times you'll be in the mood for something fictional or something light-hearted, and so it depends. Yeah, depends what mood you're in.
Definitely. And I've got books in the do you have books in the toilet? I have books in the toilet.
No, I do take a book into the bath. I have got one of those shelves that go above the bath, so I then have a drink and a book in the bath. But no, my little girl cat Luna, she only really comes to see me when I'm on the toilet. So that's really like, so instead of taking a book or my phone into the bathroom now, I take the cat. And on that note, that's an appropriate place to finish.
I was just going to say my bathroom book is called Disenchanted Life by Sharon Blackie. That's a really
see, we didn't mention her. No, I'm reading, that's another one that it's on my bedside table to read, is the Haggitude one. That's her latest one, and that looks really, really good, but I haven't started it yet. But yes, the Enchanted Life one I do like. That's another one.
Women Rose Rooted, that's another good one that she did.
Yeah,
she's another great author, isn't she?
Yeah, see, there's so many. Brené Brown, we didn't mention any of hers.
No.
We're definitely gonna have to do this again.
Yeah. Right, and on that note, we'll say a fond farewell, book lovers. Cut.
twitchandthewitch.com